Hello, it is a pleasure as always to be here. This is B. Welcome back to the second paradigm and welcome back to our series called Trending Energetics. We're looking at energetics inside of the collective that are popping off, so to speak, that are trending more and more, that are becoming increasingly common inside of the human experience. Now, we want to start by acknowledging a much larger collective energetic that is a sort of exposing of corruption, a repulsion with evil, and gathering data for what you should be repulsed with. Right? Learning more about the corruption, learning more about evil, scrolling social media, looking through the Epstein files, going down various rabbit holes, learning about corruption and evil. This is a larger collective energetic. That's not exactly what we're talking about today. That disgust is a massive collective energetic. It's only growing by the hour. But there is a subset of the population that has been exploring their own real-time personal connection to their intuition, to what we would call God, higher benevolent wisdom, for quite some time. And that feels into the nuance of the subtleties and isn't quite captivated in the way that maybe they should be, right? These are the individuals we're speaking to, and this is the pocket that we're talking about in this video. Shouldn't I be more disgusted? Shouldn't I be more involved? Shouldn't I be going through the Epstein files more? Shouldn't I be scrolling social media more? Shouldn't I be learning more? Shouldn't I be finding more proof of the corruption and of the evil in the world? Why is this not as compelling as maybe it should be? This is the time that everyone's doing it. So why is this not as captivating as it maybe even once was to explore these various rabbit holes, to explore corruption, to stare evil in the eyes? Well, we want to start by acknowledging that there's a collective intuitive ping, let's say, a trend of what's coming through that God channel, real-time personal connection to God, for those that are able to hear it. For those that have a real-time personal connection to God, that sort of says, yeah, stay out of it. It's not a hard wall. It's not that you can't explore any of it. It's just, yeah, stay out of it. This is the feeling we want to unpack today. This is the trending energetic. Not exactly for the whole of the population, but for you that are watching. For those that already acknowledge their intuition, for those that already have a real-time personal connection to God, for those that already feel into the nuances because they can. Right? For those of you that have a refined intuitive connection to God already, that can already feel into that nuance, what you're feeling inside of this collective time isn't excitement in the way that maybe you should, in quotes. It's not, oh, this is the time where everything is finally coming to the surface, where everyone's finally understanding what I've known for so long. It should feel like redemption, but there's just this feeling in the air of, stay out of it. This isn't the time to gloat. This isn't the time to double down. This isn't the time to even really talk about any of it. Why? Well, again, we're unpacking something that's already coming through your own intuitive channel if you're who we're talking to. So we're not really here to tell you why. We're here to sort of unpack this feeling of why that ideally you already have. There's an awareness that's coming online more and more that there are intelligences, malevolent intelligences, not connected to God, working for a completely different team, that want nothing more than for you to look at evil right now. Now that's rather weird, right? Why would darkness, why would evil want to expose evil? Now, this is something that we've been unpacking in more recent videos, but there's this understanding that ideally is coming online more and more, that you're able to differentiate inside of your experience, you're able to spot it to a greater degree. There's an understanding coming online that evil and darkness are two very different things. Now, recently we've been speaking about how darkness ultimately wants to create a utopia here. They want to create their own good outside of that real-time personal connection to God. That's the end goal. And in order for them to achieve that end goal, they have to present evil not so they'll be caught, and not so some of the other rationalizations that they have to expose themselves, they have to tell people what's going on. None of that's true. Darkness has no requirement to tell anyone anything. When information is going out strategically by darkness, not that every piece of information is darkness, not that all of the media and every single personality online is all working for the exact same thing. That's not quite what we're saying. But when darkness is involved, they're trying to shape the collective psychology in a very specific direction. And it's very rarely direct education, right? It's not that darkness is trying to show people something. It's that they're trying to set up a psychological foundation to where the thing that they want ultimately to come online inside of the population is the end result. Again, they don't need to tell the truth. There's no karmic requirement, that sort of narrative that's going around to try to rationalize why evil would expose evil. None of that's real. That's not true. That's not how reality functions. Darkness is exposing evil because darkness is not the evil they're exposing. They want people to have the repulsion that's growing inside of the collective right now. That collective energetic is by design. And when you understand that, it starts to become clearer why inside of your own intuitive channel, there's this feeling of, just don't worry about it too much. Just sort of stay out of it. You don't need to not know what's happening. You don't need to completely disconnect from everything. You can dabble, you can explore, you can learn a little bit, but just be sort of careful of getting too swept up in the emotionality of what is trying to be planted inside of the collective by design right now. If that feeling, that intuitive feeling, had nuanced language that was fully articulated, it might sound something like that. Just be careful of the emotion that's trying to be planted inside of the collective at large right now. It's okay to explore the information, but be careful of feeling deep repulsion and disgust towards evil, because where that inevitably drives is how can you contribute to creating a good? What can you do about that evil? And ultimately, what darkness is trying to do here is create pathways out of evil, create ways for corruption to be discovered and resolved inside of the collective, and for you to be able to do something about it. What darkness is most skilled at is bypassing free will, bypassing the natural decisions that you would have inside of reality, by creating an experience that's sort of a simulation of reality. It is a simulation within the reality that you're actually inside of. It is a small subset of experience that is completely controlled, so that you end up inside of a perspective that you wouldn't have arrived at otherwise. Darkness is incredibly good at limiting where your perspective goes, at pulling attention through a predetermined emotional experience that sort of sends you on just the right roller coaster that you end up where they want you. These aren't short plays. Darkness isn't just instituting this now. This has been around for a very long time. Psychology has been shaped for a very long time. You're just witnessing it real time because God is trying to illuminate how they actually function. God's not trying to show corruption and evil right now. Darkness is trying to show corruption and evil. God is trying to, through your own real-time personal connection, through your intuitive channel to God, your soul's connection to God, God is trying to say, look at what experience darkness is trying to corral the collective through, see it for what it is, a generated experience, and fortify yourself to it enough that you retain your ability to choose and your actions aren't compelled. Because there will come a time where this emotional pressure that is being built inside of the collective is released, and it's released along predetermined lines. If you want the collective to fight evil and create good, fight for good, do good, you have to create an evil for them to push off of. This is the logic of how darkness is perceiving the collective. This is the logic of how darkness corrals the collective. If you want to create good, you also create an evil that creates contrast that people can push off of into that predefined good. Now, this isn't the same good that you feel deep down inside of the nuance when you're navigating your own experiences intuitively, hand in hand with God. You feel a deep internal rightness that backs certain decisions that you could make more than others. Yeah, it's right for me to be living where I am right now, for me to be engaging with the people that I am and to not being engaging with the people that I'm not. It's right for me to be working the job that I am. It's right for me to be engaging with this circumstance in the way that I am. There's just this sense of correctness that I can feel inside of my real-time personal connection to God. It's like I'm being guided to the correct decision, not arbitrarily, but the decision that I ultimately want to make anyway. There's this collaborative effort of the life that I'm being called to is also the life that I crave the most because it feels deeply true and correct. That rightness is very different than creating a good here. Doing good, coming together as a community to rally around good. There is a pressure that is building inside of your collective that is driving towards creating a new codified good, a good that is well defined. This is good for everyone. This new system, this new way of doing things, this new way of relating to people, this new way is good. How do we know? Because it's better than the bad and the evil that we're pushing off of. We caught all the bad people. We realized what they were doing. We realized how they were enslaving the population. We realized how corrupt they were. We realized how massively we were being duped, but now we're not. Now we're creating a new world together. Now we are rallying the troops to do good. That's the feeling that darkness is trying to create. It's taking some time. It takes a while to impression the collective to the degree that's necessary to create that sort of forward momentum. There's a lot of evil that needs to be exposed. There's a lot of corruption that needs to be exposed. And the perspectives on why it is evil and why it is corrupt need to be in everyone. As many people as possible need to understand what is corrupt, what is evil, and that it's happening right now. And they should be frustrated, angry, and want to do something about it. And then a new solution can be rolled out that relieves the pressure that was created in the first place. This is how darkness is trying to function right now, by drawing your attention to evil. And when you feel inside of your own connection to God that you don't need to be as emotionally invested in these things, it's easy to feel as though maybe you're a bad person, because that's what good people are doing right now. Good people are exposing evil right now. Good people are exposing corruption. Good people are coming together to find new solutions for how to put an end to corruption, put an end to evil, to create a better experience for everyone. That's what good people are doing. Are you a good person? Why do you feel like you're supposed to stay out of it? Is that because you're a bad person? Is that because you're afraid? Is that because you're a coward? Is that because you aren't good? Is that because you're bad? This is the pressure that darkness is building inside of everyone's psychology. God wants to restore and preserve your free will so that if you want to contribute to something, if you want to do good, if you want to collaborate with people, if you want to create something, you can, but you aren't compelled by a long play of emotional manipulation that drives you in a very specific direction that's pre-planned, right? You don't need to be rallied around a mission that's not yours in the first place. That's manipulation. It's a very complicated, high-tech, collective manipulation over a very long period of time. It's been taking place for a long time. It's already affected you. It's already affected many of the decisions you've made throughout your life. It affects most decisions that most people make throughout their life, but it's not the only way. Right? It's not that you are born and you were manipulated into who the world wants you to be and then you die. That's an option. That's a groove. That's what happens if you do nothing and let go. But there is also God. There is also a real-time personal connection to deeper wisdom that says, this is incorrect, disengage. There's something truer for you to do here. There's a position inside of this world that you were meant for, that you were sent here for in the first place. That is your actual life's mission and purpose, is to become who you actually are, not the things that are being manufactured inside of you from the outside in. There's something that you came here with that's already on the inside, that's trying to come out. But in order for that to be a possibility, you have to understand the way you were being corralled. You have to understand the way that you might be manipulated. You have to understand that when darkness presents you evil, it's not so they can show you their cards. It's not because they have to share with you the things that they are doing and then you get to rally around them and take them out because you're a powerful creator. All of this narrative is a rationalization for why something feels off about how much evil is being shoved down your throat constantly. They want you to see the evil. They want you to be angry. They want you to push off of it. They want you to build a better good outside of the things that you're actually here to build. They want you to help them build their good. Those pathways will become clearer in time. The role that they want you to play, the role they want everyone to play, will only become clearer as the world continues to transition from what it was to what it is very quickly becoming. But for those who already have a real-time personal connection to God, who took their existential crisis seriously and built an actual inner compass that's representative of their soul, for those that were willing to be a little crazy, to explore phenomenological experience that had no collective backing whatsoever, outside of religion, outside of the Bible, outside of even New Age spirituality and mainstream spiritual thinking, outside of personal development, outside of everything that could be rationalized as this is the way. There's a subset of the population that has been incredibly brave to face their existential crisis head on. That existential crisis was a seed that was planted by God that said, hey, something actually is off here. Hey, your free will is being hijacked. Hey, your free will is being bypassed. Hey, the emotions that are being built inside of you are going to compel your action. Not today, but soon. And if you want a choice, you're going to have to start now. Not now as in right now as in a decade ago. Now as in when this subset of the population first started. Right? There's no way for us to describe the full spiritual journey to someone now and have them get it. That's not our role here. We're describing the experience that has already been playing out for a very long time. And for those that missed the opportunity or never took it seriously or decided to do something else, there's no playing catch up, really. They just have a different trajectory, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But those that we're speaking to are a much smaller subset of the population, and they already have the hardware installed. They already have the biological capability to speak real time with God and to overcome their existential crisis through the decisions that they're making inside of their experience. They know how to navigate their life according to that inner compass, because that inner compass has been their top priority for a very long time. That inner compass, they are realizing more and more, you are realizing more and more, is something deeper and realer than certainly others give it credit for. That deep inner rightness we would call God. It is the actual lived experience of God. And that inner compass is going in a very different direction than where the world is currently compelling you to go. It's only going to become more obvious that there is a divide here between where your soul, hand in hand with God, following that inner compass of deepest rightness, is compelling you to go, versus where darkness is compelling you to go. You're being pulled in two very different directions. God is saying, hey, this is why you were here. This is who you ultimately are. This is where the fullest expression of your soul is. Keep going in this direction. And darkness is saying, no, get angry. Look at evil. Look at everything that's wrong with the world. Follow this predetermined trajectory that we're trying to corral people into, and then help us build our good. We promise it's going to be better than where God is trying to take you. There are two very distinct paths here. And unfortunately, seeing evil for what it is right now is mostly a generated experience. It's not that evil doesn't exist, it does. It's not that it should exist, it shouldn't. It's that it is being presented to the collective strategically, and it's important to understand that. Yes, that evil exists. Yes, it's here. And it's very unfortunate that it's here. But largely, its purpose isn't evil for evil's sake. Its purpose is to create a counter experience to what they ultimately want to create. It is to create an enemy that everyone can push off of. There are some that are willing to play that enemy, and they have been for quite some time. Some of them take more pleasure in it than others, but it is an enemy by design. It is a villain by design, so that they are the heroes. And so that you become a hero and vanquish the evil that they don't care about. That's not the world they want to build. They don't want to build a world of evil and control and totalitarian dictatorships. They don't want that. They want freedom. They want collaboration. They want love. They want unity. They want convenience. They want the highest quality experience for everyone. That's the world that they want to build, and they want to rally everyone around building that better world outside of that deepest rightness. No, don't play your roles that God has given you. Don't play your role as a soul here. Don't listen to your divine mission. Don't listen to your actual soul's purpose. Don't do that. Help us build something better. That's what darkness is doing right now. And they're doing it by playing the role of evil and by presenting that role strategically to everyone. The more you understand that, the more you can reclaim your free will to create the good that you actually came here to create, to exist inside of the energetics that you actually came here to exist inside of, to have the experience that God's guiding you to already. There is a purity and there is a deep rightness inside of that experience that's irreplaceable. And to the degree that darkness is able to show you a manufactured evil, they take away your ability to do the thing you came here to do. It's more important than ever to understand that. And so again, coming all the way back to the theme of this transmission as a whole, it's important to understand that that disinterest isn't you being a bad person. That disinterest is your own intuition keeping you on the path that you're already on. That is God protecting you from being emotionally manipulated by collective emotional trends that are positioned by design to take your emotion in a very specific direction, to lay a psychological foundation for a realization, in quotes, that's coming down the line. God is trying to restore and preserve your free will. So hopefully, as you're exploring and scrolling and you are trusting the experience of your intuition and not getting too deeply, you can find some relief in understanding why. You can find some solace in knowing that it's not that you're a bad person and you don't care, it's that you're not being duped. You're not being taken along for a ride. And not only is that okay, that is good. So with that, hopefully you found some greater peace in this. And hopefully next time some of those feelings come up, you have some new neural circuitry to navigate some of this, some new language to navigate some of this experience. You're not a bad person. You're just not good in the way that darkness wants you to be. With that, so much love to you, and we'll speak to you at a later time. Bye for now.